I remember when Matchroom started this second run. I mean, if you're old enough to remember when Barry Hearn was involved with boxing, the Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn days, and then he kind of faded away. Frank Warren took over, and then Matchroom had this second run, and I faintly remember that Darren Barker was the first big signing. Might have been Audley Harrison, but I think after that, I think it was Darren Barker, and then I remember it was Kell Brook. I don't remember if Kell Brook was British champion already. Might have been, but I remember it was Kell Brook, and I was excited. And I was excited for Kell Brook. I've always been a big fan of Kell Brook. I don't make any excuses for my my fan favorites on this channel. Some people don't like it, and I get it. I try to stay impartial, but there will be some fighters that I just have an affection to, and Kell Brook is definitely one of those guys. But when I think of Kell Brook's career under Eddie Hearn, under Matchroom, under Sky, the first word that springs to mind is mismanaged. There are a number of other words, but I don't want to swear anymore. But the first word that springs to mind is mismanaged. Kell Brook, I don't know how many fights in he is now. It could be 34, 35, might be higher. I don't know. I'm not going to check box rep when filming this. But Kell Brook has had, let's just say 35 fights. He only has one victory against one marquee-ish name. Ish. And that's Sean Porter. That's it. That's a disgrace. That is such a disgrace. It's almost criminal. Someone should look to press charges against Eddie Hearn and Matchroom for this. If Kell Brook was in any other division apart from the welterweight division, I could make an excuse. I could say, you know what, yeah, but this guy wasn't around, that guy wasn't around. The welterweight division has been the marquee division for the last 15 years. The marquee division. Namely because of Pacquiao, Cotto, and Mayweather. But there has been at least in that 15-year period, 20 to 30 top names. Not run-of-the-mill names, not average names, top legit guys. So your resume should be stacked. It should be. And since Kell Brook has been a name, I say that in inverted commas, a name in the welterweight division, there's been at least 10 or 15 top names he could fight. I'm not even talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao. I'm talking about the guys below them in terms of where Kell Brook is. So for Kell Brook to only have Sean Porter on that resume is almost criminal. And you can fully understand when Amir Khan fans have a go at him. When Amir Khan fans laugh and say, well, look at his resume. Because when you look at Amir Khan's resume, win or lose, and most times win, still looks decent. Kell Brook's resume is a disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace. And look, Kell Brook is not innocent in this. I mean, Eddie Hearn is not innocent in this, but there's a manager. There's obviously other people in around his team. There's Sky. There's so many people that are involved in mismanaging his career. So let's look at this career. Especially let's look at it in the last 2 years. So Kell Brook won that title from Sean Porter away from home. Close fight, but won it. And then he went on to have defenses against Jojo Dan. Did he fight Beezer? I think Beezer and Frankie Gavin. You heard those names correctly. I'm not going to repeat them. And then, supposedly, Kell Brook was struggling to get a fight against any other top welterweight, which I just don't agree with, by the way. I think it's absolute bullshit because he was chasing Amir Khan around the world for ages, almost like what Khan did with Mayweather. And then someone thought it'd be a great idea, and this still bugs the fuck out of me. Someone thought it would be a great idea to put Kell Brook in with the most feared fighter on the planet, 2 weights above. Someone actually sat down and said, you know what? Golovkin is struggling for a fight. Kell Brook, why don't you go from 147 pounds, where you're not dominating, to 160? If Kell Brook was dominating 147, i.e. the way Mayweather was, then you might, you know what you do? You say, you know what? Okay, I'll fight Golovkin. I'll fight him at a catch weight of 154. But no, Kell Brook said, you know what? I'm bravado. Let me go to 160 and fight the most feared puncher and fighter on the planet at the time. Golovkin then went on and done what everyone expected Golovkin to do, which was to stop Kell Brook and in turn break his orbital bone. That was an undefeated world champion, people. All right, then what? What's next? Should we, I don't know, have some time out? Should we, I don't know, have a couple of warm-up fights, which you are allowed to do in boxing after a defeat? No, no, no. We want to defend our title against the now most feared fighter on the planet, Errol Spence, at 147. So we're going to go from 147 to 160 to 147. Because that makes sense, right? And then what happens? Okay, you break your second orbital bone. I mean, who is managing this guy? And then, okay, we can't do 147 anymore. We kind of already knew that. Let's go to 154, where, I don't know, maybe the best on the planet are at the moment. Hurd, Lara, Charlo, at the time, Andrade. You realize 154 might be a bit naughty. And then, all of a sudden, we've just had a press release saying that, you know what? Brook's going to go back down to 147. Because he now wants the Khan and Pacquiao fight, and those are the best options for him. Who is managing this career? It's baffling. It's baffling, and it's not just down to Eddie Hearn. A lot of people will point at Eddie Hearn, and a lot of people have said stuff on Twitter that Eddie Hearn. No, it's not down to Eddie Hearn. This is down to Brook. As a fighter, you manage yourself. So Brook's last 4 or 5 fights have gone from 147 to 160 to 147 to 154 to 147. If that doesn't sound bonkers to you, then I don't know what planet you're on, because that sounds bonkers to me. Kell Brook's career has been so mismanaged, it's scary. Kell Brook should have a resume that includes about 7 legit 147 guys. His resume should say that. He should have beaten the likes of, I don't know, Berto, Malignaggi, Devin Alexandra, Collazo, Victor Ortiz. I'm not naming the top guys here, by the way. I'm just naming fringe guys that his resume should have. And then you get into the Furmans, the Garcias. I dare say we should be talking about Brook versus Crawford as a super fight right now. But no, we're talking about him going back to 147 just so he can squeeze a bit of money out of Pacquiao or Khan. Fucking disgrace.